This time, when we make a source, we're going to also make a citation within the source. Source type is probably a census, don't you think? Probably. Citation is going to be, and create the source with the citation this time. And it's not linked to anything, it's just there. So we want to go over here and add another assertion here. So we'll make a date assertion, and we're going to say it was a 1931 Canadian census, Canada census, whatever I was supposed to say. You can hit the down arrow if you want. And there's page 88. The assertion is, in a census, we kind of figure out birth dates and stuff by the age. You just subtract and you can put your assertion in there. He was 9 years old. Okay. He was 9 years old in 1931, therefore blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to put. Showed you how to change the surety. The clear button clears everything. Back here in media, I didn't explain how to use this yet. I told you what default images are. This is a default image because the 1931 Canadian census has no images linked to it yet. So we provide a default image for those elements, persons, places, and sources, which have no image linked to them yet. So that there's something on this button, you can tell it's a gallery. You're going to open up a gallery, look at pictures. You can change the default image to something else. You can say don't use default images and click OK. It's gone. There's some words there. It shouldn't be black because you can't see it. That needs to be fixed. Let me get right up next to the screen. Can you still hear me? It says add images to the current source in Preferences Media tab. That should not be black. That's easy to fix. You need to practice too because you are the developer. This is for you to take and run with and do something with it. But it works in just exactly the same way. Get the little hand like that. Still does the same thing. Over here in persons, if you have no default images, then when you change to a person, then what's going to open up is going to be the do list tab instead of the images tab because you got both here in persons tab. Let's test that theory and redraw Bernie. See if that works. Oops, got an error this time. Places tab object has no attribute. Use default images. This is an error that seems to want to persist for some reason, which means I'm going to have to fix something. But I might as well leave the camera running while I go ahead and try to find the problem. Use default images. Forgot I didn't set this right. That's more like it. Use default images occurs 10 times in main.py. 1 time in base.py, that's not going to be it. 9 times in media.py, twice in places.py, and twice in sources.py. Looks to me like use default images maybe is supposed to be an attribute of the instance of the main class. The main class is capital M-A-I-N. Self.main is an instance of the main class that provides a place for everything to be in the family tree. So we keep saying self.main.use default images here. And then suddenly you see, oh my goodness, we have a ghost. And I'm going to guess that our error was on line 810 of places.py. Let's just find out. Yep. So you notice I didn't have to do a lot of analysis there. However, if you're just starting out, it's not always that easy. That's the first change I've made to TreeBard since I said I wasn't going to change it anymore. Okay, that's what I was hoping to show you. Look, we went over here. We turned off the default images. And then when the program opens up to a person, instead of seeing this blank with the black letters in it that you can't read, you see the do list instead. Okay. Now if there was a picture here, then you would see the picture on the images tab instead of the do list. But on any person that doesn't have a picture, you're going to see the do list. There is no do list over here, just here. But say for somebody else that does have pictures, then you're going to see the pictures. You can click here to see the do list. But that's not all you can do with default images. Here we just turned them off. And there's our default images again, there and there. The next thing that we can do is to use our own default images instead of the ones that come with Treebard. Let's say this is a default image for males. Okay. So if you go to a male who has no images, you have to type 3 characters here so it doesn't bog everything down. There is a default image for a unisex. Let's change this to a male. Okay, there is your default image for males. You want to go back and restore the defaults to the defaults instead of using your own default images. Click there, redraw. Well, it may be one of those few things that you have to restart the tree in order for it to take effect. Yep, there's your built-in default image for males. You can do the same thing with females, unknowns, places, and sources. You can have your own default images for one or more, or all 5 of those elements. Let's go on over to dates. This is where you set your date preferences. Now we've got a certain set of preferences selected for dates. You got which abbreviation do you want to use for estimated, approximate dates, calculated dates, before or after dates, epoch, OSNS. Which one do you want it to say? When you type them in, you type them how you want. That's very simple. You type in any order, etc. I already showed you that. Well, this is a span and this is a range. When it's formatted, it gets formatted like this. Okay, I'll show you. Estimated January 14, 1888 AD. You don't have to say AD unless it's before 100 AD. Where is the error? 518 on dates. There's a few of these where I used to say title and that didn't work out at all. Changed it to dub. Title is a reserved word in both tkinter and Python. You don't want to use the word title for any of your variables. Believe me, I tried it and I'm still sorry I tried it. Okay, estimated December 2, 1823 AD. It doesn't use AD when it formats, unless it needs to. If there's a BC date over on the left and a AD date over on the right, that's a span or a range, then it's going to have to say BC for one of them, AD for the other. But generally, it's not going to say AD. Put this stuff in any order. 1844, 30, October. You have to say OC or NO for October, November, because you don't want it to get confused with this. There's a OS. It worked, see. As soon as I tabbed out, or as soon as this field lost focus. These are just demonstration fields for you to play with dates so you can see how they work without affecting your data. This is just a sandbox for you to play in. Now we got this 30 October 1844. This is the general formatting. Let's change it to this and submit preferences. And let's type this date over again, see what happens. October 30, 1844. See? Change to the different formatting style. And I can do the same with all of these. I could click this, I could select that, and say submit preferences. And then I could go like, let's say December estimated to 1823, and there's going to be a range date, September circa 1921. I could have typed ABT here. And that's what I told it to do, just like that. And the same works with all these things. Next, we've got the top menus here. Most of these don't do anything yet, but open does. Nothing's selected. See, if something was already selected there, it would have just went and opened that. None of this works. Some of this works. Add person, same as this. The big old plus sign. Let's just do something fun here. Let's change to the highly populated, I forget the name, Lumley, was it? Oh, look at all the Lumleys, my goodness. Let's change to Floyd. Yeah, there's lots of people here. Now we got Floyd. Control click, there's Damien. Control click, there's Mila. Control click, there's Peter. Now what's happening? I forgot to do something. I want to go back, but I don't exactly remember the name I want to go back to, or I want to do it fast. Look at that. Mila goes right back in the same order. Back button works. It's a good feature. You'll use that a lot. Forward works. Okay. What's this? Person number 1. There's no printing. I don't even own a printer. I don't believe in them. Well, once upon a time I had several filing cabinets in my house, and then I had appendicitis. My appendix blew up. When I got out of the hospital, I entertained myself during my recuperation period by emptying my filing cabinets into large plastic trash bags and having my 75-year-old papa carry those trash bags up to the sidewalk for the recycling fella. I don't have a printer. I don't mess around with it. Cut, copy, paste doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. What's settings? That doesn't do anything, and that doesn't do anything. Over here in File menu, New works. I already showed you how to do that. Open works. I showed you how to do that. Redraw works. Yep. Redraw, same as Control F5. Recent trees works. If it's already open, just puts it back in focus. This doesn't work yet, this doesn't work yet, but we have commands down in the main app that do the same thing. Delete current tree works. Let's delete it and see what happens, see if it works. That worked. Let me show you where the dead trees go when they die. See, this is the one that I just deleted. If you want to put that back, put it back in here where it says data. You just drag it over there. Today 016. It's not in recent trees because we're doing this in Windows, and Treebard and Windows don't read each other's minds. Well, you might have to write some code for that to work. That can be fixed, but we'll need to write some code. You got two databases here. You got one that's called sampletree.tbd or whatever it's called, whatever the tree is called, and you've also got a database called treebard.db. Let's take a look. In settings, there's treebard.db. Now if you open that up, there's going to be a table in there called family tree. You're going to have to write some code so that if the person wants to restore a tree, which I don't even have a command for that in the GUI, put some things into the treebard.db database in the family tree table so that Treebard knows that that tree has been brought back from the dead. I'm almost jealous of the person who I used to be, the person who wanted to spend 7 days a week doing this. Because, you know, when you stop doing that kind of obsessive activity, what do you do with your time? It's like you suddenly retired. What am I going to do with my time? Well, I guess I'll make some movies. All right, so we were able to delete the current tree, but need to add something here that says restore. so that it can go to the trash and get it back and restore it to the database also, so that TreeBard knows it exists. This close works. You can go back to the app and reopen it again. Exit works. That closes the whole app, everything except this. You just close that on your own. Add person, I showed you that. I'm pretty sure this doesn't work yet. Add conclusion should do the same thing as this, new event or attribute, and you should change the wording, because most people aren't going to know what add conclusion means. Add assertion, that should be like you go in here and make an assertion, but what are you making an assertion about? So I don't know if that's something that needs to be there or not. Add source, it should be doing the same thing as this and this, or it should just open this tab, really. You shouldn't make a new dialogue when this already is there. So maybe it should just open this tab. You could also write some code that grays out anything that is not functioning yet, but I didn't get around to that. Add image, not really the right place for that because you do that right here, but if you click add image, it could open this tab. Delete current person from tree. So let's find someone we're willing to delete. Ronnie's the key to all the extra people. Stephen M. Goodwin, current person from the tree. You're not going to get all this, are you sure? That's not what TreeBard is about. TreeBard is about the basics. The designer will decide for himself how much he wants to make the user turn off extraneous messages. For me, I'd rather not see them. I don't want to click the mouse one extra time. I want to make my mistakes and go back and fix them later. Delete current place from tree, current source. I don't know if those work. Miami, Florida. I'm pretty sure that's not going to do anything. But if not, it'll probably print something here. It says like OK or something. Delete current place from tree. Yeah, see, that doesn't do anything. That's not broken. It just, I mean, you can do it right there. So you could hook the same command of this button to here, or else you click this and open this tab, one way or the other. Merge two persons. Haven't started that. None of these merge commands do anything yet. Charts and reports, I never even looked into it. There's dedicated charts programs. You can use a GEDCOM import to a chart program, and it'll make charts for you. As for reports, if you want some bad writing done, you might as well get AI to do it for you. And if you want some good writing done, then you are morally obligated to write it yourself. Do list, you know what that is, but that particular command needs to be hooked up to it so it will open it up or something. None of this does anything yet. Contacts should open this up like that, but there's nothing there yet. Tools, one thing works. Showed you that. Date calculator was the first thing I made when I first started this project, and that code has been so bad for so long that I refuse to even look at it. It needs to be started over from scratch. About TreeBard. Oh, that opens up all this stuff here. Video channel. Oh, that works. That goes right here. Dismiss. It goes to my video channel playlists. Always look at playlists. I don't know why they would have the other one here where everything is just thrown in a pile, but that's how things are done on the internet these days. Playlist is where it's at. It's organized that way by topic. But this home, it's like Facebook groups where everything just goes in a pile. If you want to find something, you have to search for it. No categorization. That's the new way of doing things. It's called, in my book, it's called LAZYNES, laziness. Help. Genealogy research, I would highly recommend doing it for free, which this is the place to start. FamilySearch.org, and there's lots of stuff there. You know about that already. I still remember the first time somebody told me, hey, you don't have to go to genealogy.com. You can do it for free. Also, archive.org has all the U.S. Census, every single page. And stevemorse.org, I did some volunteer work for him once. He will help you find the right page in the rolls. So the rolls are at archive.org, and the help with finding the right page in the right roll is on Steve Morse. So McGenealogy.com is not the only genealogy website in America. Treebard website, this works. Nice picture. If you don't like to read, well, just go to the Treebard website and look at the pictures. What the heck, you know? This works. This is the forum. How many people or robots came today? 82. That's not bad. Consider I haven't posted anything in a long time. Okay. Yeah, what else? Contact. Oh, that's the contact page at treebard.about.html. Source code. This is where you download the source code right here, or the exe right here. Donations. That's where you can donate $10 or $500 or somewhere in between for my 6 years of work. And in exchange, you get a copy of this in PDF format. This is a book I wrote about GEDCOM. Okay. That's about the end of it. I want to apologize for the disconvenience if some of these features didn't work right, but I am finished. I might secretly go back and fix some things, but I don't think I'm going to tell anybody about it or provide the code for free, because I'm a little bit burned out on the whole topic of providing my work for free. I'm not resentful at all. I enjoyed every minute of it, sort of. Enjoyed most of those minutes. And I really appreciated having something to do. And I just... Oh, it's that ghost again. Jeepers creepers. Somebody do something. Anyways, thanks for showing up. And if I forgot to tell you how to do something, then just let me know and I'll make another movie about that. Okay? This is Professor UD Guru coming directly to you from Treebard University right here in southern Mindanao. Signing off, and thanks for showing up. Bye-bye.